What's good, YouTube? So it's about 12 in the afternoon and I went and hit legs over at my local gym, the Anytime Fitness. Now, this doesn't go for anytime. Like I like training at them. I'm in Adelaide, they're everywhere. I've been to like 16 around my hometown, my home city. And most of them are good and things like that. But this one in particular over the road, it's pretty apparent to me now that no one trains legs at this specific one. I don't know why. I mean, I know it's something that happens at a lot of gyms, like legs get forgotten just in people in general. So it's probably happening at your gym as well. It's kind of like a trend, and I want to talk about a bit about that today and why I think more people should be doing legs. Okay, now I'm not trying to bash anyone or anything like that. We'll just talk about, first of all, why this happens, and then we'll go into, you know, why you should be hitting them. Like I trained them today. Even though they do take more effort, the rewards from it is good. And then at the end, I'm going to give you 5 exercises that I think are the best and the reasons why, in order to get rid of those chicken legs if you think you have them, or maybe your legs are, you know, slacking a bit to the rest of your body. So just like most males, this is directly kind of pointed towards males because females tend to train legs like every second day. They're the other end of the spectrum where, you know, female legs is like the go-to. Meanwhile, when it comes to like males, it's more about the when you first start, the biceps, the shoulders, the chest, the things like that. They're the ones that they seem to go for, or abs. And I was the same too. Like when you first start going in, the last thing you want to do is like your first ever day, you don't really know what you're doing, going in to train legs, unless you were to go with someone. This is for a few reasons. 1, they take a lot of effort. 2, the movements can be complex. And 3, it's just like, if you could choose one body part to have like looking just insane, really, really great. A male's normally 9 out of 10 times, you can disagree with me if you want, let me know in the comments, but I would say it's going to be like shoulders or arms. Like that's normally what they want to go for, right? And that's fair enough. So when I first started, same thing. It's all about going in, just getting used to the environment and hitting some biceps or things like that. Pretty easy to do, and you know, that's what people want more of. So that's good, especially if you're a casual and things like that. Fair enough. Maybe legs just aren't on your agenda. Maybe you're a football player or something. You don't really want the big stocky legs. You just want to be look a bit better, upper body, things like that. That's fair enough. But the more you go into training, the more you take it serious, want to build your body to look a certain way, I think it becomes really important to train legs. And why is that? First of all, just like I don't have the biggest legs ever. We should you know, discuss that first. Like I feel like you need to have proportion, right? So overall, not huge. Same with my legs, right? Not huge, but they do have. Are they one of my stronger body parts? Maybe. And that's just from training them normal. I don't train them, you know, more often than anything. It's just the same. I make sure they stay up to the standard of the rest of my body. So to stay proportionate. Now, if you are trying to, like I said, go for that more aesthetic look, that's what you're in the gym for. You're not a power lifter, you're there purely to look better. Proportion means a lot, like a lot, because if you go in, right, you got someone that doesn't lift here, then the other spectrum, you got someone that lifts a lot, but they never train lower body. So sure, you might look good if you wear pants and things like that, but you can't wear pants all the time. And as soon as you show the legs, or someone can, you know, see the proportion difference and things like that, you're actually doing the opposite, in my opinion, of looking or making yourself look better, because now you don't look to the normal proportion. Okay, now if that's what you want to do, fine. Like you literally just hate legs, that's fine. If you just want to look better upper body, do that. But I just want to bring to your attention that you can't forget legs. It's very easy to forget them and only concentrate on, like, you know, certain upper body and things like that. But one, we'll just kind of summarize it quickly before I start rambling. 1, proportion looks really, really good. It will help with your upper body. Okay, just having that, like when your lats come in and you got the small waist, if you flare the quads out at the bottom too, it adds to that V shape. Okay, there's the first thing. Second thing, having powerful legs is going to help you in other lifts. and just overall growth, okay? Because so much muscle mass, when you're doing a squat and things like that, the whole body's working. You're gonna get a lot of traps. When you do deadlifts, traps are working, rear delts are working. So you're gonna grow the rest of your body, even though you're only really trying to target legs, because they take a lot of, it's a big compound movement, most of them. A lot of, unless you do like knee extensions and things like that. But moral of the story is, proportion is gonna help you look better, and it's gonna help you overall with trying to gain size or whatever it may be. And you know, just overall, I think it's a really good thing. So now we'll talk about the whole idea or the whole topic of this video. Hopefully I got across my message a little bit. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, just make you aware that maybe it is in fact what you want to do is train legs, okay? Maybe not smash them every second day and things like that. Don't forget what you really, like what your goals are, the upper body and things like that, but make sure you're getting your legs in there too. Keep the body proportionate, and just train them just as much. Like have a balance between upper body and lower body, and you'll be set. So set the camera back up here, and I've actually trained, like I said, this morning. So I'm not going to have fresh footage to explain to you the different lifts that I think are the most beneficial if you want to get rid of those chicken legs quickly. And this is talking about the quads and hamstrings, okay? Chicken legs can involve calves as well, as like a total kind of deal there, which you can just have none of them at all. But I think for this we'll focus on the quads and the hamstrings. We can do another video specifically on talking about how to grow calves if that's a problem for you. So like I said, didn't get any footage today, come home and then thought about this video after I'd seen that everyone seemed to have not much leg size at my gym. But yeah, we'll jump into it. So what I'll try and do is maybe, I know I've got footage on my computer of other sessions and things like that. Hopefully I've got a clip of all the exercises that I want to talk about, and we'll jump into them right now. Okay, number 5. So the lowest ranked, obviously 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 is going to be the number 1 exercise for gaining size on the hams and quads. The top one, or the least beneficial if you want to get rid of those chicken legs, I'm actually going to put as leg extensions / laying hamstring curl, or seated hamstring curl if you want. Now, a lot of people are going to go, whoa, what are you talking about? You can't hit legs and not do those. And that's fair enough, yes. They're really good when you put in isolation movements. Now, isolation means when you're kind of locked into a position and just targeting that one specific muscle. But compound movements, if you can only do like one movement, okay? This is the kind of the idea I have towards how I'm listing this. If you can only do one movement and that's it for legs, which one is going to get you the best benefit, the most size, okay? Isolation movements are great when you add them in to other big compound lifts and things like that. But if you were to just go in and just do leg extensions and then some hamstring curls and walk out, I'm sorry, but you're probably not going to gain much size. It's going to help a little bit, sure, and you know, really help with the mind muscle connection of trying to contract the muscle, but they're at the top because overall I feel like there's better exercises that you can do. And I'm not saying don't do them, but don't prioritize them over these other lifts that we're going to talk about. So that brings us on to number 4. I'm going to put as number 4 lunges. Now specifically, you know, weighted lunges. So you can have dumbbells in your hand, lunge down into position, or have the bar on your back, whichever one you really prefer. The only thing that you got to watch with the dumbbells by your side is that when you come down, you don't twist towards the back foot, if that makes sense, because that's going to really put pressure on your you know, your whole middle structure, twisting the hips and stuff into a bad position. So the easier one is probably with the bar above your back, and it's going to keep you upright and, you know, really make sure you lower into the movement and things like that. So either way, lunges for number 4. Now they're really great for overall development, but they also engage a lot of your back muscles, so even your glutes. And yes, guys, I don't train glutes specifically, but the girls really do like glutes, so don't forget your lunges, put them in there. And that'll bring us on to number 3. That's all I can really say about that exercise. And number 3 is going to be the hack squat or squat press. They're kind of the same setup. Squat press, it doesn't, I think hack squat to be just talk about the structure more of it. Hack squat kind of moves on rollers in one direction. Meanwhile, the squat press kind of has like an arc to it, and you're pushing against a pad. But either way, they kind of mimic the same movement, which is very much similar to a leg press or a squat, so to say. I mean, you can't really do too much, but they do differ a little bit in the way you train your legs. And I feel like overall, the squat press, hack squat, isn't going to hit too much glute, depending on where you put your legs, of course. Like, this is all up to how you sit on it. You can put your legs towards the top, towards the outside, and that's going to engage more hams and inner thigh. You can put your legs close together, it's going to hit more quads. So it's all up to you what you want to do. But I feel like if you did some weighted, you can do really heavy squat press, hack squat, drop sets and things like that, you might benefit a little bit more just talking purely about quads and hams than you would a lunge. So very similar. They're hard to pick one over the other. But like I said, lunges is going to engage more glutes. So hack squat I'm going to put as the third best exercise you can do for overall leg development. Remember, we're not talking about calves at all in this video. So that brings us to the top two, okay? So coming up as runner up for the best leg size exercise you can do would be the leg press. Now, this is a big staple movement. A lot of people, put this almost as their number one, and we'll talk about that a little bit more hopefully. But the leg press is great because you're fully locked in. The rest of your body is, I'm talking about the vertical one too, by the way. I feel like that's a lot better than the flat ones and things like that. So if you have a 45 degree where the weight comes back towards you, they're not very dangerous. They got stoppers and stuff. Don't be intimidated by that machine. But they're really great because your whole body's locked in. It's purely just your legs, just doing all the work. And you can also do little things just as like the hack squat where you position your legs to hit more hams, more quads, whatever you want. But plate loaded, fighting purely against gravity, not like machine pins and things like that. It's just such a good exercise that can just target. Like if you go in and do like lots of sets, really push it on the leg press, you're going to have sore legs because they had to just break down so much muscle fiber and work so hard in order to grow. So runner up is the leg press. Just overall, super solid machine. If you're already on the leg press, that's great. Stay using it. But if you had to choose one exercise and only one for that overall leg size and development, it would not be, and I don't recommend, it would be the leg press. I wouldn't personally choose it. And why is that? Because you might not like the sound of this, a lot of people don't, but the squat will never be beaten for legs. And a lot of people hate that because squats take so much effort, okay? Your whole body's working, trying to push it up, but you're directly fighting against gravity. You have a bar on your back. There's so many stabilization muscles and stuff involved. And even though we're not talking about it, just having that much extra muscles fighting, okay? Your back's contracted, sitting on your traps, everything's locked and ready to go at the back. Your abs are tense, lower back's tense, trying to hold your body upright. You're lowering down into the movement. If you stop around parallel, take the momentum out of lift and things like that. It targets the muscle so well. And I think, we've all done squats somewhere along the line, I feel. If not, you very much should. But just the squat just destroys you overall. But it's for very good reason. It's just going to give you that much muscle breakdown overall, and that much just overall size, especially to legs and hams, better than anything, I believe, as well as just the overall other benefits, like just adding, making sure your posture's good and things like that. It's just going to help so well. And with that said, that's the top exercise I feel for getting rid of chicken legs. If you had to pick one and you only want to do one for some reason, go and kill it in the squats. But I also recommend adding these other exercises into your routine, mixing things up, okay? So maybe go in, if you just want to go nuts, do warm up, leg press, leg extension, then go and do squats, then do your leg presses, then you can do some lunges and things like that. Or you can have like days where you hit legs twice a week, we'll say. On the Monday, you go and do squat-based day, finish off with leg extensions and hamstring curls, just to finish off. once the muscle's already worked, you just want to really squeeze it and things like that, contract it hard. And then the second day for the week, you can not do squat, but instead do leg press and things like that. They're all going to hit the muscle in a little bit different of their own each individual way, if that makes any sense. So don't neglect any of them, but there's my top 5 list. We'll cover it again real quick before we wrap this video up. Number 5, leg extension / hamstring curl, okay? Number 4 is going to go to the lunges. Number 3, hack squat or squat press. Number 2, leg press. And number 1 is the squat. So I hope this helped you out, guys. Get rid of those chicken legs. It's going to add to your just overall appearance if you have some nice, they don't have to be massive, but just legs that you can tell have been worked, and you know, help with your proportions overall. So thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.